It's 8-count boxing time. Thanks for joining us tonight here, boxing fans. We have a great match for you. It's the two-time world champion Louis Sharpshooter Espinoza taking on Francisco Pancho Segura. Pancho Segura is a deadly puncher, but so is Louis Espinoza, and they're about to get it on right here on the 8-count boxing hour. So kick back. This bout's scheduled for 10 rounds. So here we go with a little Tuesday night thunder from Phoenix, Arizona. The date you see there, 10/27/93, is incorrect. It's actually 10/27/92. This videotape being brought to you by the great Ray Scott of Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix's #1 video boxing man. He's the cameraman here. And the 8-count boxing hour really appreciates the efforts of Mr. Scott. And right now you're looking into the corner of Louis Espinoza entering the ring. Danny Carbajal raising the ropes for him. The two-time world champion in his hometown. Raising his hands, he's ready to go, ready to rumble. His opponent in the background there in the black trunks, Francisco Pancho Segura. And Pancho comes in with a record of 21-5 with 11 knockouts. He's a very dangerous opponent. And right now let's go up to the ring announcer and get the opening call on this exciting match.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the junior lightweight division. Our referees are Richie Aaron Kaiser and Tom Dunleavy. Our referee, Mr. Bobby Ferrara. Introducing the opponents. First of all, in the red corner, he weighed in at 127 pounds. His professional record, 46 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws. He is the current USBA champion from Phoenix, Arizona, wearing the camouflage pants. Our first native born world champion, Louis Sharpshooter Espinoza. His opponent in the blue corner hails from Coachella, California. He is wearing the black trunks with the white trim. He weighed in at 127.5 pounds. His professional record, 21 wins, 5 losses, 11 big knockouts. He is currently the Pentacontinental champion. Let's welcome to Arizona, Pancho Segura. A referee, Bobby Ferrara, with the instructions.
Okay, this fight's for 10 rounds. You've both been given your instructions. I know you understand them, and I expect you to obey them. I want a clean fight. I want no holding behind the head, no wrestling, no shoving. The white corners are neutral corners. If you score a knockdown, I'm going to send you to the furthest corner. Stay in there until I tell you to come out. The guy down must take a mandatory 8 count. Understand? Good luck to both of you.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds.
So here we go. We're about ready to get this bout underway. You'll see in the background there with the black trunks bouncing on his toes, warming up, ready to go. And the very experienced Louis Espinoza in the camouflage trunks. And the two come out and start banging right away. You see Pancho Segura bullying his way in against the sharpshooter Louis Espinoza. And we're joined at ringside here by my brother and also Colorado boxing commentator Thomas Cisneros Jr. And looks like we're in for a good bout tonight, Thomas. What do you think?
Yes, it looks very exciting, Dan. Looks like we're going to have a real good fight tonight.
So we're all set for 10 rounds here in the junior lightweight division. You see Pancho Segura, boy, he's winging those shots. Typical Mexican-style fighter. He is from Mexico, and he's come to the United States to learn a little bit of technique, and it's really paying off, running that record up to 21-5 with 11 knockouts. And the man in the camouflage trunks, Louis Espinoza, I don't know what more I can say about him. He has fought here in Albuquerque. He's been impressive every time he's come to town. And right now he's in his hometown looking to take another step towards a return to the world title, which he held twice. Louis Espinoza is the current USBA champion. And right now he's going to have his hands full. I hope he's ready for this, man. Pancho Segura, don't let those 5 losses fool you. He's been in with the toughest fighters in the division. And right now he looks like he's really ready to go. You'll see Louis Espinoza very patient. He'll kind of sit back, let the jab work. He kind of feels his way around the ring, and then he'll let the bombs fly. And Thomas, well, have you seen Espinoza in the past, and what do you think about his style?
I think he does real well. He's his name, Sharpshooter, fits him perfectly. I think Tremendous.
And he does shoot out those razor-sharp jabs. As you see him right there with that left jab, he just keeps sticking it in the face of Segura, keeping him away. And there's a good left to the body from Segura. Pancho Segura in the black trunks will need to be aggressive here. Louis Espinoza has the power edge and maybe the edge in experience. And Segura will hope to overcome that with aggressiveness, pure aggressiveness. Again, this bout taking place in October of '92 in Phoenix, Arizona. Again, you see Louis Espinoza just very calm and patient. There's a good little left hand by Espinoza. And Segura answers back. Pancho Segura will fire back when he gets hit. You'll see him, he'll answer right back. And you see his hands high. He's blocking a lot of those shots. So Espinoza won't go berserk. He'll just stay calm and keep shooting the jab out. He'll work behind the jab. He's trained by Danny Carbajal, the brother of the current world flyweight, junior flyweight champion, Michael Carbajal, one of the greats in boxing today. And Louis Espinoza in the same stable. Those two are something else. And there's the bell to end the first round. So a pretty good action round. Both men just kind of getting loose here and seeing what we're in for. A good crowd here in Phoenix, Arizona. A packed house, actually. Of course, this is the triple header card, also featuring David Gonzalez and Michael Dokes on the same undercard. And if we can in the future, we'll try to get those bouts onto the 8-count boxing hour for you as well. But right now, we're in the second round of a bout scheduled for 10. It's Louis the Sharpshooter Espinoza in the camouflage trunks with the black waistband, and his opponent, Francisco Pancho Segura. Pancho Segura is the Pentacontinental Champion. I believe that's the WBC, and he holds that title belt. And Louis Espinoza is currently the USBA champion. So we have a battle of champions right here on the 8-count boxing hour. There's a good left hook now from Segura. I think he kind of surprised Espinoza there. And again, Louis will answer back with a left hook to the body. There's another little right hand snuck in there by Segura. And Louis Espinoza has power in both hands, so don't underestimate him. And look at Segura go to work now. Espinoza holding on with his back to the ropes. And there's a warning to Segura for a little kidney punching. And that will happen from time to time with the big body punchers. You'll notice our own Danny Kid Dynamite Romero will get called quite often for low blows or kidney punches. When you go to the body, those things will happen. Your opponent turns and twists, and that's going to happen. But Pancho Segura needs to not be discouraged by that, and he's got to keep going to the body. He's going to have to wear down Louis Espinoza. The edge and power would definitely go to Louis Espinoza. He's known for his explosive power. But and there's a little right hand. Louis Espinoza says he's like a good wine. He just gets better with age, and every time someone counts him out, he comes back to prove us wrong. So I'm not going to say that he's going downhill yet. He's not quite ready to be taken. But Pancho Segura is a young fighter on the way up, and this is a good crossroads match right here. Again, we thank Ray Scott out of Phoenix, Arizona for providing this videotape. Ray Scott is the video boxing man of Phoenix, and he's got great equipment, and we'd like to thank him again. And now Espinoza starting to land some good shots. There's a little body shot, comes back with a left hand. Combinations now from Louis Espinoza. There's another one, and he's got Segura backing up. Segura won't back up too much. Now he's pushing, trying to come forward and push Espinoza back. It's going to be a battle of wills here. Two stubborn men. Two champions, championship caliber fighters right here. Featherweight and junior lightweight divisions loaded with talent right now. There's the bell for round to end the second round. This division's loaded with talent. You got fighters like Tony Dynamite Green out there, as well as Kevin Kelly, and a young man you may have heard of, Oscar De La Hoya. And boy, wouldn't that be a fight? Either one of these men in there with Oscar De La Hoya. Tremendous. So we're ready for round three now. Pancho Segura in the black trunks, his name written right across the front. Louis Espinoza in the camouflage trunks. Espinoza is managed by Paul Percyfield out of Arizona, and Mr. Percyfield has done a wonderful job with Louie, taking him to the title twice. Currently, he holds the USBA title, fighting on ESPN and USA Network. Everybody knows Louie Espinoza, and you've really got to tip your hat to his manager, Paul Percyfield. And of course, hooking up with Danny Carbajal, one of the best things they could have done. It's really got Louie back in shape, hungry. He's around a championship atmosphere, and he very well could be on the track to another world title. And now you see Segura coming forward, throwing the jabs out. Pancho Segura with a pretty good defense. He'll keep his hands pretty high. It's hard to penetrate. And there you see right there an example of it. Maybe Espinoza could get down underneath to the body, but right now he's trying to get between those gloves. And Segura pushing Espinoza back. You don't see that too often. But Louie's going to the side, looking for angles here, trying to get through that tough defense of Pancho Segura. Louie Espinoza with 35 knockouts and 46 wins, so he's definitely a banger. 46 wins against only 5 losses and 2 defeats. A tremendous career, a storied professional career for Louie Espinoza. I enjoyed meeting Louie Espinoza last year. We had him on the 8-Count Boxing Hour here. You may have caught that show. And we had a lot of fun reminiscing on his amateur career. He had a pretty good little amateur career, and he was ready to go pro. The timing couldn't have been better, going on to win the world title in 2 different weight classes. Again, Louie Espinoza now giving a little bit of side-to-side movement, trying to get the angle to slip the right hand in on Segura, who's coming in very aggressively. Pancho Segura has been pretty effective, going downstairs and coming up. There's a good little right hand. Espinoza answers back. Combinations now, Segura with a right hand. Oh, look at Louie dig to the body there with that left hand. Louie Espinoza showing all the tricks of an experienced veteran. There's a good left hand from Espinoza. Again, Espinoza punching in combinations now. The fans starting to heat up. They sense something coming on for their hometown hero, Espinoza. And the bell ends the 3rd round. We're ready to go into round 4. This bout scheduled for 10. Junior lightweights, 130-pound limit. Pancho Segura in the black trunks coming in at 127.5. And Louie Espinoza right around there at 127. So actually this is a featherweight bout, but they're just a hair over featherweight, so they're being listed here as junior lightweights. And there you see the jabs of Espinoza, real nice, sticking them right in there, and that's hopefully going to open Segura up for some more offense. And Segura gives Louie a taste of his own medicine now. Now Segura with a good idea, going to the body, comes back with a left hand to the head, and there's a little uppercut. Segura pretty tricky in his own right. He's not just a brawler, he's a pretty fair boxer. And we hope everybody enjoyed that big show at the Kiva Auditorium last May 22nd. It was a lot of fun, and we're glad for all the people that came out there to see the show. Thanks for coming up and saying hi to me at ringside. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to write to us anytime you want to. Oh, there's a big right hand by Louie. And he comes back with a little left hand, but Segura just takes it. Another right hand. Anytime you want to contact us, go ahead and write to our P.O. Box, 91801, Albuquerque, New Mexico, the zip code 87199. Send us your name and address, and we'll send you a bumper sticker, a poster, boxing cards. Who knows? Maybe even a boxing magazine. Maybe a T-shirt. Sometimes we have T-shirts, so watch out for that. There's a good little left hand by Espinoza. He keeps landing these little pot shots here and there. Segura taking the shots, though. Espinoza really pacing himself. He's not just opening up and going wild. And now Segura does a little work of his own, landing a good left hand. Espinoza slips out of the corner. Good move there by Louie. He didn't get trapped in the corner. He just slipped out to his left. What do you think about this match so far, Thomas? Pretty good match so far.
Yeah, it's pretty even. They're right there, toe to toe, and it seems like they're going to be able to endure for a good while.
Yeah, it has every indication of going 10, but of course the sudden explosiveness in boxing, you just never know. Again, both men just kind of taking turns here on the offense. There you see a good double left hook by Pancho Segura. Again, a combination right hand followed by a left to the body. Both men content to just kind of take their turns. Actually, Pancho Segura looks pretty confident in there. He's not shaken at all by the presence of Louie Espinoza or being in the man's hometown. I don't think it's going to bother him. This Pancho Segura is a real Iron Man. We head into round 5 now of this bout, scheduled for 10. We're in the junior lightweight division. Louie Espinoza, the sharpshooter, in the camouflage-colored trunks, and Pancho Segura in the black trunks, really giving Louie all he can handle up to this point. This is a tough one to score. Boy, the judges really have their hands full. It's been close. Both men doing good work in every round. And this is the kind of fight where a man like Espinoza is thankful to be in his hometown. Maybe that could be the edge, the fan support, keep him going. And the fans will roar every time Louie lands a big combination. And now Louie Espinoza on his toes a little bit. Boxing, showing he has the legs. Of course, Espinoza in the tremendous wars fighting Jorge Paez and Lupe Gutierrez. Ooh, there's a good left hand by Segura. Yeah, Espinoza has really proven himself as a champion. There's a good little left hand by Espinoza. Oh, and another good one, uppercut. Again, Espinoza with a combination, 1-2. Louie Espinoza starting to land some good scoring shots. But I'm sure Segura will come right back. That's the way this fight has gone so far. And be sure to stay tuned now, because following this bout, you will see Daniel the Pitbull Perez out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, taking on Chucky Peralta, the Bobcat, also coming out of Arizona, and he'll come to Albuquerque's Roller West to challenge our own number 25 rated in the world, Daniel Perez. And that fight's coming up right after this match. But right now we got a good one here. Louie the Sharpshooter Espinoza taking on Francisco Pancho Segura. Neither man giving ground right now. They just kind of take turns controlling the match. And they're very, very even in every way. A tough match to score for the judges. And barring a knockout, this is going to be a tough one to judge. A really tough scoring fight. And there you see a good double left hook now from Louie Espinoza. On a big right hand by Espinoza. Again, he's trying to land that big right, that overhand right. And there it is again. And Segura says no, but you know, no means yes in boxing. He definitely felt the power of Espinoza right there. The surest sign to know that a man has felt your power is to watch him tell you no, it didn't hurt. Because if he didn't feel it, he wouldn't be talking about it. So, you know, isn't that right, Thomas? What do you think?
I think that's right. It makes you think a little bit there.
So we head into round 6 of this bout, scheduled for 10. The action's starting to heat up here in Phoenix, Arizona. Louie the Sharpshooter Espinoza and Francisco Pancho Segura. And now you see Espinoza just kind of pecking away with that left hand. Segura stands there and lets him, and Louie says, okay, I'll pop you. But Segura comes out of there with his left hand working. There's another one. The fans now chanting, Louie, Louie. They want a knockout. I think Louie has his fans spoiled. They've seen quite a few knockouts by the sharpshooter. Oh, and Segura comes in now with both hands flying. Louie Espinoza driven back to the ropes. And there you saw Segura miss with the right hand, and Louis tried to make him pay. That's a good strategy. If Louis Espinoza could get a little more head movement and time Segura, he could counter him. But the aggressiveness of Segura makes it hard to really stick to those kind of plans, and it's really come down to just a trading of shots, trading of combinations. There you see Louis now with a little uppercut, comes back with a body shot. He keeps the jab working. Segura with his hands high, taking shots now to the head. And as long as Pancho Segura is going to lay on the ropes, Espinoza is going to throw bombs. And now Segura doing the right thing by coming forward, really. He's got to keep Louis backing up. He can't let Louis Espinoza get the momentum coming forward. Too much power. Both men showing good technique. They're working behind the jab. They're not cavemen just coming in wildly swinging. And that's one thing that I think Pancho Segura has picked up by being his time here in the United States under U.S. trainers. Not just to throw the wild hooks as you see so often from the Mexican fighters, but to get in there behind the jab and timing and defense. You know, he's showing a lot more technical skill. And he's putting it to good use against the two-time world champion, Louis Espinoza. Referee Bobby Ferrara hasn't had much to do in this bout here. Both men really sticking to the rules, not clinching too much either. Both men are leaving a lot of punching room. There you see Segura coming forward with a good combination. You'll see there hasn't been a lot of clinching. It's not been a lot of hanging on to each other, which really makes for a boring fight. And I'm sure referee Bobby Ferrara really appreciates that. Again, Segura just puts his head down and bulls his way forward. Espinoza seems to just pace himself. I don't think it's so much that he's fatigued and being driven back, but he feels when he's done a little good work, he'll kind of lay back. And that's the experience showing in Louis Espinoza, the veteran of over 50 professional fights. So that ends round 6. We head into round 7 of this bout, scheduled for 10. No one's been down. No one has really been hurt with a big shot, although I'm sure the punches hurt, don't get me wrong. They're taking some hard shots, but no one has been in danger of going down yet. It's been a real chess match. It really hasn't been the brawl that we might have expected. More of the boxing match, real technical boxing match. Oh, there's a good little sneaky left hand by Segura. Espinoza keeps his hands pretty high. He's not a clown in the ring. He's all business. He's there to do his thing. And of course, you probably remember his 2-fight series on NBC with the tremendous, you talk about a clown, the king of the clowns, Jorge Maromero Paez. And Louis took him to a draw and dropped a controversial close decision to the great clown of Mexico, Jorge Paez. And that really boosted Louis Espinoza up. Even though he lost and then got the draw, people knew he was for real. Ooh, there's a good left hand by Segura. And Louis told me personally that he would love to get a third match and really settle that once and for all with Jorge Paez. But they have just not been able to get those two back together again. It's too bad. It would be a good fight. I'd like to see them go one more time. Of course, right now he has his hands full with Pancho Segura. Segura coming into this bout probably about a 4-1 underdog here in Louis Espinoza's hometown. But you can see Segura really doing some good work. He's got Espinoza backing up, and that's not a good sign for Louis. He's used to coming forward and asserting his will on his opponent. But Louis hasn't landed the big bomb yet either. That's another thing, that he'll usually land a big bomb sooner or later in the fight and really change things around. Again, Pancho Segura able to move Espinoza back. And you have to think the judges like that. The judges really like the aggressor. And Espinoza's going to have to land some real effective shots to counter that aggression. Now Espinoza trying a good little combination, but not really landing flush, and he doesn't seem to be opening up. He's looking for that opening. He seems to be a little bit confounded by the technique of Pancho Segura, who uses aggression, and then when he backs off, comes back with his hands really high. And the bell ends the round. Louis Espinoza comes back to his corner. We're ready to start the 8th round here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. And a hard one to score. I don't know. Who do you have leading this fight here, Thomas?
Well, they're so even right now, Dan, that I would be afraid to say right now. But it is definitely a good fight.
Okay, so I agree with that. It's too close to call right now. We're going to have to settle this fight in these last 3 rounds, maybe. The Pentacontinental Champion, Pancho Segura, whatever that is. I believe it's a WBC minor title. And Louis Espinoza currently holding the USBA Championship, and you all know that's a real title there. So these are definitely two top 20 contenders. The winner of this match is really going to be pushed up into the spotlight. The Arizona Boxing Commission oversees boxing in the state of Arizona. And just like New Mexico has the state commission. And it's really good that they have this for the boxers as well as the promoters and the boxing fans, because the boxing commissions, they work to see that the good matches are put on, that we don't have too many mismatches. They don't stand in the way of promoters, but they'll give a little bit of advice if a match doesn't look right. They make sure the safety regulations are enforced and everything. They see to it that the fighters get paid. And if you don't have a boxing commission, you're really the world of boxing is turned upside down. And if you want an example of that, look to Colorado, where anything goes. I mean, they have boxing kangaroos taking on boxers and who knows what, real mismatches, and really anything is allowed to go on there. So we're very appreciative to have the boxing commission here in the state of New Mexico. And now Segura looks like Espinoza's a little bit shook up or tired, I can't really tell. And now Segura gets a warning for a headbutt, or for butting coming in with his head. But Segura starting to look a little bit stronger of the two right now. You have to remember Louis Espinoza's been in a lot of wars, and he's not quite as young as he used to be, although he'll tell you that he's better than ever. But it'll take its toll on your legs in these long, grueling rounds. And Pancho Segura on the fresh legs coming forward. There you see Espinoza trying to stick that jab in there and keep Segura away. That would be a good move if Espinoza would throw several jabs. So he's throwing one and then moving back. He should be throwing out there the double and triple jab to keep Segura away, because right now Pancho Segura is coming in on him. And he looks like the aggressor in this fight right now.
That's the end of round 8. Give both a hand. That's a great round of boxing. Give both a hand of encouragement. They're both giving it their all. This is a great foul.
So round 9 is underway here in this bout, scheduled for 10. We got 2 to go. And who's ahead in this fight? Don't ask me. Ask the judges, unless one of these guys can score a knockout. We've got a very close match here. Louis Espinoza now comes out on the attack, and then Segura answers right back, drives him back to the ropes. And Louis Espinoza has not been very aggressive in this fight. Pancho Segura, like a windmill, just coming forward, showing no signs of fatigue. And he's throwing shots. His hands are staying busy. Good tight defense, and Louis Espinoza is really having a hard time figuring this man out. The referee getting a little bit of work there, separating the two, but he really hasn't had to do much in this fight. Both men just going in there and really doing some real nice boxing. If you're a real purist of boxing, you really have to like the work these two men are showing you. And there you see Segura punching with the free right hand, just kind of tapping the side of Espinoza. And there you see both men, when they're in tight, instead of grabbing each other, clinching, they either step back or they work their way out of it. Some good, clean boxers here. Segura now working that jab and working it well. Espinoza tries to push his way out of the corner. Again, oh, and Segura sneaks in that little sneaky left hand. What a tough fighter Segura is. He's taking some good shots. His face is showing a little bit of wear and tear, but it's not slowing him down at all. He's coming right into the face of Louis Espinoza. And we haven't seen the explosive punching power of Louis Espinoza to this point. He really hasn't unleashed the big bomb. He's had Segura shaken a few times, but really hasn't put him down. He hasn't hurt him. He hasn't staggered him. There's a good little left hand landing flush by Segura. He follows it, comes forward, drives Espinoza back into the corner. So you've got to give a good grade to Pancho Segura here, sticking to his corner's game plan, staying aggressive, and when he's backing off, he's keeping his hands high. Simple game plan, but he's really executing it to the hilt. And now both men just kind of trading shots here, landing a lot of shots up around the shoulder area. There's a little uppercut by Espinoza. He could use that more. It's a good weapon, but he's really not using it.
That's the end of round 9.
I don't know, Louis Espinoza looks a little bit tired to me. What do you think, Thomas? Does he show you something there?
It looks like he's starting to get a little wear. They're just real professional fighters, and they're going to be able to. Looks like they'll be going all the way here.
It looks like it. We got 3 minutes to settle this one. And there you see the lovely round card girl telling you that it's round 10 here, the final round. So Pancho Segura taking Louis Espinoza to the limit here. Louis knows it. He comes out a little bit more aggressive, but can he sustain it? He's been doing that in all the rounds, but he doesn't hold on. He doesn't continue to stay busy, and that allows Pancho Segura to sneak right back into the fight each round. Louis Espinoza with the big reputation, the two-time world champion, and Pancho Segura, the hungry young man coming in here trying to build a reputation. And Louis Espinoza would be a terrific notch in the gun of Pancho Segura. And you have to think if it goes to the decision, they're in the hometown of Louis Espinoza, and that could present a problem, don't you think? So we're in the final round now. Time is starting to run out. And you have to wonder who's ahead in this fight. I haven't been keeping score round by round, but boy, I've got to think it's close, and I wouldn't be that surprised if Pancho Segura pulls the upset. But as I said before, they are in the hometown of Espinoza, and it looks like we're going to find out the hard way. How do you folks see it at home? I don't know. Start thinking about it, because it looks to me like they may go to the decision here. Although Espinoza is starting to throw combinations, pecking away. Now Segura answers back, drives Espinoza back into the ropes. Again, both men pretty weary. This has been a pretty grueling fight. They've got to be tiring here. And there Louis tries the big right hand, but it doesn't land flush. Pancho Segura seems to be much the busier of the two right now, and that's definitely going to pay dividends on the scorecards of the three judges. Scoring on the 10-point must system, the winner gets 10, the loser gets 9 or less. And I can't see anything other than a 10-9 round in all 10 of the rounds to this point. Nobody's really been hurt enough or knocked down to warrant a 10-8 round, so this is going to be a tight one. Good opening match here on tonight's 8-count boxing hour. Be sure to keep an eye on that Albuquerque Journal and Albuquerque Tribune sports page, the TV listings. Watch out for the 8-count boxing hour. And of course, if you want to know when future shows are coming up, go ahead and drop me a line and I'll send you a little schedule of upcoming shows. So both men continuing in the same pattern of the entire fight. One man starts to take control, the other man fires back and forth all the way. And really neither one of the two men dominating any of the 10 rounds. There's the bell. This one's going to the judges. And boy, oh boy, I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to call. You really can't argue either way. There you see the Espinoza corner showing to be kind of happy, but right now they look a little concerned. And look at Segura running around with his hands raised. Let's go to the decision.
I will read the judges' scorecards as follows. Judge Aaron Kaiser saw the bout 96-95, Louis Espinoza. Judge Tom Dunleavy saw the bout 96-95, Pancho Segura. Judge Howard Ritchie cast the deciding ballot, and he saw the bout 96-94 for Pancho Segura.
So a big surprise in Phoenix. Pancho Segura pulls the upset on a close match. Scores of 96-94 and 96-95 for Segura. One judge had it for Espinoza, but 96-95, it was close either way. A tremendous feather in the cap of Pancho Segura, who runs his pro record to 22-5. We hope you enjoyed this match, and stay tuned. Danny Perez coming up next.
Hello, I'm Juan Nunez. I'm with the Athletic Commission, the New Mexico Athletic Commission, and I watch the 8-count boxing hour on Channel 27.